The following videos deal with Boolean values and logic functions. So what are Boolean values all about? You have already experienced that there are different kind of data, text for example, or numbers. And a third data type is Boolean value, which is either true or false. So if I type in, for example, true in a wrong way, double U, you see it's simply a text, it is aligned to the left. However, if I type true, it is in capital letters, and it's imported into the center, so Excel notifies it's really a Boolean value. A Boolean value can either be true or false. And it can come from a constant like here, so I have typed in true. However, it could come as well as a result of a function. For example, this function is blank d4, cell in here, returns the value d4 because d4 isn't simply blank. Maybe there's something inside, now it's blank. If, however, I enter, for example, a number, you see it's false. If I enter a text, you see it's false as well. Even if I enter just an empty space, it's still false. If I delete everything, it's again true. If I enter, for example, something like enter an empty space, so basically nothing, it's still false because Excel recognizes, hey, there's a formula. Okay, and the next thing could even be more weird. So you see here, I have entered equal to, and the result is true. Why that? Let me write it a little bit differently with parentheses. Okay, it's still true, but maybe you recognize what's happening right now. The first and the second equal sign have different meanings. The first simply states, hey, from Excel, here's the formula. And the result of the formula is then shown in the cell C5. The formula in this case is an expression, meaning it is something where an equal sign or a bigger or smaller sign is in, and the value is either true or false. So as 2 is equal to 2, the total result is true, it's a Boolean value, and that's what's stated in here. If I say 2 equal to 3, you will see now it's false. And I can exchange, for example, values like, comparisons like smaller or equal, and again, it's true, why bigger or bigger than is still false. So what you can see is these can become a little bit more complex. So what happens, for example, in here, equal 3, smaller than 2, it's something I don't really know. At least, or it's hard to interpret. At least you can figure out what it could mean, but I recommend not to use these kind of formulas. One thing to mention as well is that often true is interpreted as a 1 and false is interpreted as a 0. So if I, for example, would state here a VLOOKUP function, so VLOOKUP, and I'm looking for the number 23 in the one-liner table, and I'm looking for this third value, so the 34, and I now should enter a true or false. However, if I enter a 0, that's basically a false, then the result can be interpreted. If I enter, for example, the text, then I will get an error message back. So sometimes a 1 and true are aligned, and a 0 and a false are aligned as well. Don't let you become confused by these.